Start off with, we have the basic pyramid that many of you have likely seen. The lowest tier on this pyramid is the omega males. You know these males as the stereotypical nerds and geeks of the world. The next tier up is the gamma males. While not as bad as omega males, gamma males struggle to grasp social cues and often get grouped in with the omegas. At the middle of the pyramid, we have the delta males. These are the regular Joes and worker bees of the world. While not necessarily hopeless, they will always be outshined by the other tiers. In the second spot, we have the beta males. These are the follow-up men who can hold their own, but will always be shown up by the top of the pyramid. The alphas. These are who most people think of as the ladies' man, the captains of the football team, and the life of the party. Outside of the pyramid, we have the sigmas. Sigma males are very common in both television and movies. These are the men like James Bond and Jason Bourne, who answer to no one. Sigmas ignore the social hierarchy, and because of this are often considered above the alphas. Going back down the hierarchy, we have the lambda males. These males wish to be like sigmas, but cannot fully commit to leaving the hierarchy. Because of this, they are often still seen as below the betas and alphas, but with enough work could become a full-blown sigma. At the top of the pyramid, we will see the alphas really share the spot with the zetas. While alpha males take full advantage of their social position, zetas acknowledge their superiority, but they don't act on it. They are usually side by side with alphas, but some may rise above or below based on their behavior. While most archetypes easily fit inside the social hierarchy, there are some that are harder to classify. Epsilon males are those that reject the social expectation of males entirely. These men are comfortable taking on feminine traits, and often ignore the hierarchy entirely. Because of this, they are usually placed fairly high up in the rankings, but cases may vary. Taking a quick detour back to the sigmas, let's look at something I like to call the sigma wheel. Because of their loose definition, sigmas will fall into one of 5 possible categories: xenas, ilums, hyphas, neuros, and prions. Xenas are at the absolute top of sigmas. These are the men who refuse to recognize even other sigmas. For the other 4 rankings, being on the right represents more of a monetary focus, whereas the left represents more of a social focus. Hypha and ilums are equal rankings in their respective categories, and the same is true for prions and neuros. The next ranking may be a bit controversial for some. Although women don't easily fit into the male social hierarchy, it is important to recognize that women do have masculine traits of their own. Only an omega or gamma would refuse to recognize the female's place on the hierarchy. Looking back outside the normal hierarchy, we have theta males. These are also called helicopter males due to their lack of commitments. Thetas are able to traverse the hierarchy at will, and for that very reason, defy any attempts to place them within it. The final classification on this hierarchy is the ZIGMA males. These are the absolute top of everyone, including the sigmas. Unlike the sigmas, Zigmas will acknowledge their position and use it for their own benefit. On top of the regular classifications, we also have the elusive Shrigma males. A useful analogy to classify these males is the human brain. I will be breezing through these, however, as it gets quite complicated from here. Much like the occipital lobe, Draugas are able to interpret the world differently. They often have their own ways of viewing things outside of normal human standards. Similar to the temporal lobe, Shungite males focus on creating memories throughout their lives. Long-term commitments are more important than short-term experiences. Occupying the spot of the parietal lobe, Krunga males focus a lot on sensations. They get very involved with their emotions and savor their senses. Sagoma males do not fit into this analogy at all. Despite occupying the frontal lobe, their personalities have nothing to do with their classification. You may be asking yourself then, what is a Sagoma male? Sagoma nuts!